Testing sound 1 2, testing sound 1 2. If you can hear me, let me know in the chat. As usual, if the sound goes out, also let me know so that I can change the mic. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining me. Grand Rising, Pranal. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna do dishes first before I get to breakfast. How's your morning going? Did you have breakfast already? Hi, Nishal. What's for breakfast? I'll show you soon, but first I've gotta wash my dishes. Hi, Shagzo. Where you from? Originally Greytown, but my home is now in Joburg. And if you've been following my journey since I moved here, you know that this is one of the most peaceful times I've ever had in my life. One of the most fulfilling times, one of the most meaningful times. And so many beautiful, wonderful things have happened in my life since I've been here. So it's definitely... Did not know it was going to be like this, but very grateful for all of the outcomes. Very, very grateful. Last night I ate beans curry and rice, and it was bland. And now I'm washing the pot, and I'm being reminded of that it was bland. Hi Jane, no you didn't miss breakfast. Does it say on the title of my live that I'm having breakfast right now? I'm doing dishes before I do breakfast, that's why. I've also got two important things that I've got to work on today. One will not take that long, maybe under an hour, and then the other will take that long. Because as you know, I was working on something yesterday that involved coding, and I reached a stumbling block where something wasn't loading the way it should. So I've got to go through that code. I've got to go through all of the items and see where is the problem. They call that debugging in the coding world. It says Saturday morning live. Okay. I think it's called debugging, but it's necessary. The satisfaction you feel when the thing that wasn't working finally does work, immense satisfaction. And when I see the output and it's exactly what I'm looking for, then I know I will have succeeded. But honestly, just getting started the way I have is a success in itself, so I don't want to downplay that. Most people... Okay, well, I'm super smart, so it's a matter of time before I crack that. Happy Wednesday to all the beautiful women. It's Saturday. Hi, Renelle. Women's Day. Okay. What does Women's Day mean to you? What does it mean to be a woman? Is it just about body parts or is there more to it? What to you does it mean? Okay, I'm done with dishes. Great. You always want to start off. I guess Saturdays in some spaces are for cleaning. For me, it's not. For me, Sundays are for cleaning. And based on what I'm seeing in the apartment, I definitely do need a cleaning day. The last time I cleaned the apartment was when I uploaded that apartment tour. So I've gotta I've gotta do that. Looking at my sink, my bathroom sink, thinking, you need a wipe down. Shagzo, why is there a glass of some type of alcohol next to your username? What does that mean? Does it mean you love whiskey? Those that are watching Dexter Resurrection, did you watch yesterday's? Yes, so what does it mean to be a woman? If you're a woman in the chat, tell me, to you, what does it mean to be a woman? If you're celebrating Women's Day, what does that mean to you? Today is one of those days where I'd definitely rather be at a fancy restaurant or coffee shop eating breakfast, but I chose to do it indoors today. Woman in the chat, what does it mean to be a woman to you? That you're celebrating Women's Day. I don't feel like it's a challenging question, or is it a challenging question? If you ask me what does it mean to be a man, I can definitely list for you all of the expectations. You've got to be strong, you've got to be powerful, you've got to be outspoken, you've got to be driven, you've got to be wealth aligned. You can never show vulnerability, you can never show emotions, you can never show weakness. Nobody should know you're suffering, you can never talk about how you feel. That's what it feels like to be a man. That you've got to put on a show of strength, and anything that contrasts with that is your weakness. And there's no space for weakness when it comes to men. Men must be strong all the time. All the time. Even when you're suffering, you must still be strong. And nobody must hear about your pain. That's what it feels like. Powerful, fearless, empowering, great. Resilient and overcoming loads, great. Great. I'm glad. It's not, I wonder if it's something you think about. Well, I was talking about my perception. But it looks like in your comment you spoke about your, yeah, that was my experience. In your comment you spoke about your experience. It is, but that's what we're in this age for, to, talk about all of the expectations that have been placed on men. Hi, Dan. And like, why should we fulfill those expectations? What does it really mean to be a man? Can I choose to not be a man? Is that a choice for me? Because I choose that. I choose that. Okay, let's get to breakfast. Gonna boil some water. I'm gonna make some coffee. Celebrating the iconic woman who also fought for equality in South Africa. You can be whatever you want. as a being of consciousness, you don't necessarily have to align with your physical body. Your physical body can say this is what you are, but as a being of like self, as a self-conscious entity, um, you can choose to not be that. You can see that with transgender identities where people change their bodies. You can see that with sexuality where they choose whatever sexuality they want. As a self-conscious entity, you can choose to say thanks nature, but I'm going to go this direction instead. Hi Judika. Evany, which of the women that fought for equality in South Africa are you most inspired by? Which women are you most inspired by? And why don't we hear about those women more often? We hear about the men. We hear about the Oliver Tambos and the Nelson Mandelas, but we don't hear about the women. On a Women's Day, are you calling women in your life and are you like wishing them happy Women's Day? Are you doing that? Is that a thing that people do? Do people do that? Are there any news updates that you want to share? Anything you found interesting? My late mom used to tell me about Helen Suzman. When you were growing up, did you ever envision yourself as somebody that would have national impact? What type of life did you envision as a young girl? What type of life did you dream of? Do people wish you happy Women's Day? That's exactly the question I'm asking. Um, who's that one? Who is that one? Just a reminder to you that if you post weird things in my chat, I'll block you without hesitation. You will lose the opportunity to watch my content just because you think you're some type of crusader trying to enact the decree of poverty upon me. It's not going to work. Okay? Especially those policing my budget, lifestyle, and so on. Fuck off out of my chat. This time, not politely and not kindly. How did you know? How did you know? Yeah, I haven't had these in a week or so. Hi, Don. My breakfast budget today was it tasting like potatoes. I think it was fried in potato oil. Hi, King. It is so delicious. Sometimes people ask me, like, don't you want to eat something with it? No, I just want to eat it on its own. On a Saturday like this, I like to go to a coffee shop, sit down, and do some important things. For one thing, there's three documents. For the other thing, there's a bunch of coding, APIs, JavaScript, execution, workflow. I tried Motherland Coffee when I was in Cape Town. Motherland Coffee at Cavendish Square, but their coffee never stood out to me. The only thing that stood out to me there was that they were having some type of coffee special before 8 o'clock. I never actually went there that early to try that coffee special. A lot of people like it with polony and cheese. Feels heavy. I mean, it's already heavy as it is. To eat it with bologna and cheese, I probably would not be able to eat four. So I guess you've seen it when I eat chip sandwiches, right? That I eat the chip sandwich without sauce, without butter, whatever. So this idea of like just eating it, appreciating its flavor as it is, I'm into that. The motherland behind Rosebank is awesome. Try the new pistachio croissant. Oh, sounding scary, but thanks for the recommendation. Pistachios everywhere. Somebody said Lint is doing new pistachio ice cream. Yeah, it's sounding scary because Rosebank is not a place I feel comfortable in. I feel like there's a lot of fear and insecurity there. Thanks, Don. Are you married? Yes. My union is with the great infinite spirit within. Hi, Gilly. Finally, this weapons movie is online. I watched the pickup yesterday. Let me tell you, I recommend that movie. It's not horror, it's comedy, action. It's got Eddie Murphy, Kiki Palmer, and Pete Davidson. Watch that movie. It's super fun. It's a family movie, it's a date movie. I usually don't watch movies that are not horror. So when I decided to watch this, it's only because it has like three comedy legends in it, and I loved it a lot. It's called The Pickup. Wi-Fi and Rosebank, you see it when you walk around. Or as a content creator, you see it that people are concerned about, overly concerned about, like, am I in the video? Did I show up at the background? No, don't record here. Um, like, there's some type of fear and insecurity about that. You think that that place was posting its trade secrets on the wall. You think it's something like that. But so I don't like to go there, honestly. Places where there's fear and insecurity is not for me. If I'm a tourist, for instance, and I want to go vlog Rosebank Mall, and they're telling me to stop recording, I'm wondering, like, what's this about, truly? A lot of people have this idea that it's about Poppy. They misunderstand the act. They haven't read the act themselves. People showing up in the background of your video is not a violation of their personal information. Let me tell you that clearly. Have you been to the Diamond Walk in Santon Next Level? Is that Santon City? When you go up on Santon City to the up level, there's a parking level. You have a view of like this metropolitan building. One day I want to sit there and draw whatever I can see. Weapons is out. Freakier Friday is out. I'm confused. Is it the top level or is it not the top level of Santon City? Which, by the way, Santon City, if you're watching, fix the light bulbs in the taxi section because it's very dark there. Santon City is one of those places where all the coffees are 30 rand and above. So if I ever think about living in Santon, that's something I'll have to think about. I'll never find cheap coffee here. Okay, it's not registering right now because I haven't memorized the layout of Santon City like I have other malls. Like, for instance, I've definitely memorized the Mall of Africa layout. I've memorized the Carlton Center layout. Rosebank Mall haven't memorized. Santon City haven't. That's something that I do when I go into a shopping center. I keep a mental map of the complex, like I did in Cavendish Square, like I did at Waterfront, like I did at Canal Walk. It's just easier for me to navigate. I don't like to spend a lot of time searching for places, tapping on the screen. Tell me where Starbucks is. No, I should just know where it is. I love croissants. I was struggling to find cheap croissants. Thanks for the heart, me, Jay. I was struggling to find cheap croissants in the CBD, and then I walked into a different Woolworths. The different Woolworths has individual croissants, they have individual donuts, including the chocolate-filled, chocolate-covered donut. They have mini glazed donuts, pack of four for 32 rand. So, yeah. And they have spinach and feta pie. Thanks, Jay. So, just going to a different Woolworths changed my experience. Wilishka, you mentioned that you were facing trouble receiving soul mail. So when I looked at your email address, it said that you'd received 12 soul mails but have not opened any of them. So I had to remove you as a subscriber. Why? Because cleaning your email list is known as a necessary thing to do in email marketing. You need to check out which of the subscribers have not opened any of the emails that they've received at all. It's not personal if you're one of those people that's not reading. It looks bad for my email marketing health to be keeping subscribers in there. Um, Maybe check that out, Wilishka, whether it's in your junk, whether it's in your spam, because it showed me that it sent out 12 and you haven't opened any of them. So if you want to resubscribe, you can probably do that, but I can't subscribe you back from inside the system. Also, one of the ways that I avoid my emails going to spam is that I use my own email address, mail@seanmabir.com. So it does not register on Google or whatever email system that this is possibly spam. It looks professional. It's also got my name there, Sean Mabir. So check out your spam folder. Let me know so I can know in the future. Mhm. Yesterday, I watched Minnie Lamini talk about her experience with MacG and how he started attacking her on his podcast after she stood up for Amanda DuPont after he said weird things about her. And I wonder, is that going to do anything? We needed to hear that, but like, have any consequences come from MacG about what he said about them? Okay, I'm glad you found it. And then somebody said Open Chats posted that MacG walked so they can run. It sounds like they haven't grasped that they said anything wrong. They haven't grasped, they haven't released an apology. Or have they released an apology? Because from that statement, it sounds like you're reveling in no consequences. She doesn't deserve the hate. I agree with you. Also, talking about her private parts and all of these things, it feels so, it feels like MacG couldn't handle women standing up for each other. So he just pulled out all the guns, went guns blazing, attacking her character, not even attacking, you know, her action, but attacking her as a person, her personal characteristics, showing insecure men. Insecure men will do that. You'll see them go guns blazing when they feel small. When insecure men feel small, you'll see them go guns blazing. When you see that, don't be fooled by it. Don't be thinking that. Don't be feeling bad about yourself if you ever experienced that from another man. Um, be secure in yourself. Don't tolerate that, and also know that, yeah, when men feel small, they will try to attack you. I don't have much of a perspective on that. I don't know much about that. I wouldn't say jealous. I would say culture has taught men that they are inherently superior to women. So when they see women thriving and flourishing, that basic belief starts to come into play. Like, how is that a thing? It shouldn't be that way. It can't be that way. And if you find that type of dynamic with that type of person, they will try to bring you down in some way. But if the man is comfortable, secure, and healthy, he probably won't do that. And I see that on my platform with some people that hate their lives. You see that they wonder, like, it shouldn't be that way. He shouldn't have that. He can't be that. And then they try to bring you down. So that's what I've noticed, that when people perceive you having something that they feel like they can't have, or feel like they don't have, or feel like they want, they will try to take it from you. And they will try to take it from you first by breaking your spirit, by insulting you, by attacking your personal characteristics, by spreading false narratives about you. So there's an entire, way of saying, they call it humbling someone. Don't allow yourself to be humbled by anyone. I also saw one of those conversations of like, this woman's earning 69,000, the man's earning 9,000, but they're in a relationship. And a lot of that conversation was about how, why would she be with someone like that? He must know that he's eating her food. It seems like when the tables are turned, when the woman is a higher earner, the public perception on Twitter platform appears to be like, well, now he must worship her. This, it's flipping around now. It's starting to be like, the person with the higher income must be worshipped, valued, and appreciated as it's no longer equal partnership in your relationship. So I think from what I saw in that conversation, people are starting to incorporate income into how you see your partner. Have you noticed that? If your partner was earning 4 times less than you, would you be looking down at them? Would you be looking down at them? I did in the past somebody close to me telling me, I'm earning more than you. I thought to myself, are we in a competition here? Me earning 4,000 as an artist is way better than me earning 25,000 as a data analyst but hating my life. So for me, it matters more, not the amount that I'm earning, but do I love my life? Do I love myself? Do I love the work that I'm doing? In that way, I don't see my income as a reflection of my worth and my value. I see my income as something to trade to meet my needs. I'm not worth 50,000. I'm not worth 100,000. How can you put a price, a number on life? Hi to one two. Do you like Mario drama? I do. I'd rather visit 5 major cities in the world. We live in a very male-centric society. You see it in there's a shame in men being nurses. There's a shame in men being au pairs. There's this idea that women must be nurturing and taking care of children. You see it in the fear of a woman president, this idea that she will be emotional and that will be negative. You see it in a preference for cold, calculating behavior in your politicians. The ones that are meant to support and care for you, you'd rather have them be indifferent to your pain. You also see it in disparity between pay in corporate structures. It will be made to be something to do with your experience, but actually there's a sometimes a concern of like you see women earning less than men for the same amount of same work. You also see it in like obsession with penis. That's one thing that happens in the society. Obsession with penis, that we must worship men and we must worship their neger regions and we must give them everything that they want, and men can just exist and live. But women need to be curating their bodies, they need to be standing up the right way, they need to be saying the right words. You cannot make a mistake as a woman, you cannot have problems as a woman, or you're seen as weak, or you're seen as a failure. They are Men can do the bare minimum and they will be applauded for it, but women have to go to the PhD of life and still they'll fall short. So you see that double standard. And so if you are a woman listening to this, don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for the idea that you have to be perfect to be acceptable. You remind me of a little mouse. Thanks for that. Somebody said when a man has multiple sexual partners, it elevates his status. He's seen as a player. When a woman have multiple sexual partners, it degrades her status. She's seen as a whore. And so it really means that when a woman sleeps with a man, if her value degrades, it means that he is the thing that's degrading her value. So that's an incentive to not be with men. How do you feel about that? That if a woman sleeps with more men and it lowers her value, then she must not sleep with men because they are the real problem. Does that resonate or no? It really got me thinking, like, Why, in a moment of horniness, do you choose the trashy person? I was thinking about this the other day. You wouldn't date that person, you wouldn't even have a conversation with them. You probably don't even like them, but you would give them access to your body. And it showed me that I didn't have high standards for my dating. I really didn't. Yeah, that's the logic then, because if men are degrading your value, then it means that the only thing to then elevate your value to keep it constant is to be with someone of your own sex. And then what happens to men? I don't know. I think we're too preoccupied with men. I think we're too focused. We're too preoccupied with men. We're too focused with men. Men are the title characters of movies and series. They are heads of family. They are heads of corporate government. Men are everywhere. And I feel like maybe we've been too excessively preoccupied with men. Y chromosome is dying out. You know what? I don't really have fear about that. I think that we have an idea of where the species is headed, but nature has different plans. And if the consciousness decides that a flesh body is not the best way to manifest itself, then it will choose a different body. And we got so used to looking like this that maybe a superior body is synthetic and silicone because it doesn't need constant food, constant excretion, constant desire. Maybe that's more stable sound for the consciousness to express its full spectrum. So I stopped, I think, partially last year and this year, having an idea of what the future of humanity looks like. And I thought, I really feel like my idea was wrong, and that what nature will deliver will be so different to what we expect. Especially when you see some of the extraterrestrial bodies. They have huge eyes and they have huge heads. And it's showing me that perhaps the next level of humanity does not look sexy. Perhaps it doesn't. Perhaps it looks lean. Perhaps it's conserving its energy in ways we don't understand. Perhaps the skin does not use melanin anymore in the shades of browns. Perhaps it uses it in a different way. So I think I'm more open now to seeing. Show me the best vessel for your expression, rather than assuming it's a human body. The genuinely good guys. Would you say you've met genuinely good guys, and have you dated any, and did you always consider them genuinely good, or did you at some point consider them boring? Did you study short courses in data analytics? I did many statistic courses in my undergrad. Do good guys finish last, or do nice guys finish last? And that's not about sex. By the way, I mentioned this yesterday. As a woman, you've been shamed for your pleasure. So I just want to remind you to explore your body and to find what feels good for you and to find what works for you. And if you have a partner, you show them. Rather than expecting the ignorant man to find his way around your body. Some men think that their only job is to thrust for 4 minutes. Please, it's 2025. As a woman, don't be shamed for your pleasure. Explore your body, find what works for you, and show him. I have. I'm married to one. I never saw as calm as boring. I'm glad. Does it mean that you were raised in a healthy household where it wasn't chaotic? Because sometimes people that are raised in chaotic households, they find the chaos exciting, unconsciously, of course. And then they end up in relationships in which they're treated poorly because that's what they were used to way back. So, was your upbringing different? Or did you do the self work to get to that space? Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm in that space right now where when I'm swiping on Tinder, I'm thinking toxic, toxic, definitely hot, but toxic swipe left. Not gonna care about me, swipe left. Gonna be emotionally unavailable, swipe left. This one looks interesting, swipe right. I'm now looking for safe. I'm now looking for healthy. I'm now looking for intellectual, stable, and so on. Thanks, Navi. I definitely also have to get over my fear of Indian people. I don't know if I've shared this before, but there's a fear. It is a fear, and it has blocked my ability. It has blocked my interest in dating Indian guys. There's a fear there. I can admit it. I'm Indian, but I was not treated like an Indian. I was treated like something else. So I wonder if it has made me look to date people of other cultures instead of people of my own culture. Hi, Lindsay. I want to overcome that fear. I want to date an Indian guy and I want to see if it works. And somebody that makes jokes, somebody that's funny, a little bit goofy, a little bit like a fool, but smart, not stupid, not stupid, not obsessed with alcohol, not obsessed with meat, not obsessed with the mother either. So the Indian guy that I date, yeah, don't be a drunk, don't hate your life, don't be your mother's de facto partner. I don't ever want to hear your mother saying to you, "You'll never leave me, right?" Oh my God. Um, Preferably cut. Not a fan of uncut in 2025. Some will know, some won't know. That's okay. Um, Makes jokes, light-hearted, can consider things funny, because I need that balance. I'm deep, I'm serious a lot of the time. So if I'm dating an Indian guy, I want that level of jokes. Don't don't yourself be the joke, because some of the Indian guys out here, you see them on TikTok, they themselves are the joke, and that's what the entire platform is based on. It's on you being the joke, not you making people laugh, but on people laughing at you. Don't want that. And don't be obsessed with meat. Stop salivating at a braai. Stop looking at that and drooling. That for me is a turn off. So, universe, you just heard all of my expectations. One more thing, um, one more thing about love. You have experienced love. You know what it's like to be loved, and you know what it's like to love. That's the most important thing. Akhil, you have a BF? No. Why can't they like meat? I didn't say they can't like meat. I said don't be obsessed with meat to the point where you're drooling and salivating at it. It's a turn off for me. Preferably, my Indian boyfriend should love sweets also, because I love dessert. Don't tell me you don't like chocolate cake. Don't tell me you don't have a sweet tooth. I've dated guys in the past that don't like desserts. It's very draining. I've dated guys in the past that don't like horror movies. It's sad. It's sad when somebody doesn't like. I don't expect my partner to like everything I like, but desserts and horror movies. If he's spiritual, I'm into that. But if you're sacrificing animals, I'm not into that. If you're cutting the throat of a goat or a sheep, I'm not into that. Blood sacrifice. Stop all blood sacrifice. It's 2025. Hi, Renee. The God that's in you is the same God that's in that goat. That you think you're sacrificing the goat for some higher reason. It's like you're cutting off your toe to please your face. I'm doing well, and you? Thanks for that. Thanks for that. I'm only 31 in human years. And yeah, I don't feel rush. I don't feel pressure. I don't feel like time's running out. I don't feel like there wasn't, I'll be honest with you, there was an obsession with romance and dating at some point in my life. I think all teenagers experience that you watch romance, dating, and marriage in the media while you're a child. You get asked by adults at 6 years old, is that your girlfriend? You get kissed by older women on your cheek as a young child. Then in your adolescent years, your teenage years, you get introduced to porn, your body starts showing you horniness, and you start feeling attraction for people. Then you're further fed by the media that date, romance, marriage, children, parent. So now, now in my life, I feel, and that's anxious. There's an anxiety about it. The anxiety of, will you meet the right one, the soulmate, the twin flame, marriage? Will it be your happily ever after? Choosing the right one, healthy partner. Do you want to have kids? Not have kids. Kids are having. They're not a being, they're a having. Do you own them? Do you want them to look like you? Do you want them to sound like you? Do you want them to be a mini version of you and not themselves? So now I got to a space where I'm like, relationship or no relationship, okay. Kids, probably not interested. Marriage does not seem that fun or interesting at all. You know it as a union of two families to consolidate wealth and power. In this culture, it looks like people, maybe you really have to, take your time to find a person who's really looking for that, who's really looking for commitment. I think sometimes we assume that because you are dating someone or because you're married to someone that there's commitment, but unless you explicitly talk about commitment, I don't think that's an assumption. Thanks, Ash. Tell me in the comments what you want to do with them. So now in my life, I'm not anxious about finding a partner. If I need to satisfy some urge, I'll likely do it for myself. I'll take myself there. I've taken myself there. I've taken myself to higher and higher heights. I love myself. Maybe that's what it means to love yourself. Kourtney Kardashian spoke about it. She called it like autosexual, where you pleasuring yourself is your preferred way. And I don't dream about marriage. I don't dream about kids. I sometimes think about what a partner would be like. And then I'm still in the realm of not having decided whether it's for me or not for me. But I do want to I do want to experience a healthy love to know whether it is for me or not. If it's not for me, I'm happy to move on. I know that in my later years, I should not be using my body to ejaculate. I should be conserving semen, and I should be channeling the prana up to my brain, and I should be expanding my consciousness and experiencing samadhi. That's what my ancestors did. After 50 years old, they were completely God focused. They finished out their human life by a certain age, and then they went on to the spiritual path and gave that all of their attention. Some of them did choose families, households, but it was not the type of relationship where it's sex based. It was a type of relationship where you come together for partnership, for understanding, and for building. When you have sex, it's intentionally to make a child. You're not trying to ejaculate all the time. You love more so than physical pleasure, and you care about each other, and you care about your offspring. And in that way, it's less transactional. So they've shown that it can be done in a householder way or in a renunciate way. So when I look at my ancestors and I think about my ideal life, that's definitely my ideal life. That at post a certain age, I just want to focus on my soul's purpose here, which is self-realization. Be done with it and be gone. This is Magwinya. In the meantime, while I'm young, experience life, have fun, live out your dreams. But the idea that I should have every single experience I dream about, I don't think it's realistic in life. That there are just some things that there's only limited time, and so you can have scattered focus, but where's the path of specialization at some point? So as much as you're doing exploration and so on, I tell this to myself, thanks Bam Bam, at what point do you start to harness all of the things that you've learned, put it towards something meaningful, and create some type of impact? That's what I'm thinking about. So for instance, if I am an artist, when do I start to create art that's impacting the world? Or if I am a politician, if I have political ambitions, at what age do I enter politics? Or if I have adventure ambitions, how much adventure do I do before I decide now is the time to create a home base? So I keep thinking about those types of things. If you're a woman and you're celebrating Women's Day, if I were a woman, I would be doing bubble bath, candles, pampering, asking my partner to be massaging my entire body, cucumbers over the eyes, sweet, pleasant Beethoven symphony playing in the background. Mm, serve me breakfast, lunch, and dinner all day. I don't want to get up. I don't want to do anything. Even with a glass of water, get it for me. Pamper me, treat me, make me feel special. That's what I would be doing. Chips Akla. What chips you talking about? Mhm. I did see the candlelight concert ads on Instagram, but whenever I clicked, it never showed me a place to book tickets. So I always thought, oh, they haven't yet settled on a location. By the way, I'm not sure if you knew this, but women's bodies are portals. They retrieve souls, package it into a human body, and deliver it into physical reality. I'm not sure if you knew that. I didn't even know about a fever app. Hi, Desiree. Okay, thanks for that. I have couch surfing, and I think there's a hostel app that I have also that shows me interesting things, but I'll get that one. I want to do clay cafe. I want to do art and painting. It has been rare for me to have creative friends, but I want to do creative stuff. Treat yourself well, love yourself, give yourself softness, give yourself gentleness. Don't abandon yourself. If you need something, give it to yourself. If you need love, give yourself love or ask for it. If you need support, give yourself support or ask for it. Sometimes we feel like our needs are too much. Don't feel that way. Ask for it. Thanks for that. What are your needs? $3 million. I need $3 million for my financial freedom. With $3 million, I can be set for life. Why? Because I have financial skills, I have business acumen, I'm really smart, I have intellect, opportunity, networking skills, and so much more. So, with the budget of $3 million, I can definitely exist indefinitely. What you eating, Magwinias? Sap crooks. My ears are right. Are my ears wrong for you? Tell me, do I have wrong ears? That's a horror movie title. Just like wrong turn, wrong ears. Why dollars though? Because it's dollars. No cap. No cap, exactly. Cheeky fella, how are you? I'm doing well, and you? There was a hot guy in my chat. His name was Ethan. I said DM me. He didn't DM me. There was a hot guy in my chat. His name was Nirab. I said DM me. We planned to meet. Then he said somebody died. He's got to go to a funeral. Never heard from him again. Okay, universe, 3 million US dollars, not as net worth, but as investment, but as asset, not as net worth, but as asset. By 40 years old, I will have $3 million Not as net worth, but in asset balance. And the $3 million, it may or may not be associated with my business. Thanks for that. Thanks, Jay. No, no, $3 million. Thanks, Cheeky fella. Rands are so 1970s. Where's the slap chips? You probably saw a video that I recorded a bunch of days ago. 3 million US dollars. Not that challenging to generate, especially in 9 years. Sean, in 9 years, can definitely generate $3 million. And then for $1.75 million, I will buy some type of single family residential unit in California. Because I've seen on Selling Sunset that some really nice houses are under $2 million. Actually, $3 million is low, but it's good. I will not struggle to find buff white guys. I might just struggle with BO though. Thanks, Bruce Lee. There's part of it that's pushing, there's part of it that's flowing. I think flowing with life is more essential. $3 million. Seems realistic. One high value software as a service product can be sold for $10,000 to $15,000. And one high value software as a service product that takes 30 hours of my time, I can sell for $10,000 to $15,000. So how many of software as a service products selling for $10,000 to $15,000 will it take to generate $3 million? That's something I have to think about. Oh yeah, California does not have the greatest tax laws. Thanks for reminding me. People are often moving to Texas or Florida. You know what? Miami. Yeah, not California, Miami. But just gotta be wary of hurricane season. The 30% tariff that they added on South Africa, what will that have to do with $3 million? Is it a tariff on South African imports into United States? Sorry, South African exports into United States, or is it a tariff on US imports into South Africa? All products going from the US, going into the US from SA. Okay. So for SA to sell products to the United States, they must pay a fee. That's so interesting. For you to sell here, first pay your 30%. That's a way to elevate the status of your country by suggesting that we are that important that for you to sell here, pay a fee. Cheap and expensive is not something I care about. I care about value. Like, do I want a Chanel purse? If I do, buy it. If I don't want it, that's okay. So, yeah, I always make decisions based on not how cheap or expensive it is, but whether I want it or not. Change your worldview. Stop thinking about is it cheap or expensive. Start thinking about do I want this or not. That's exactly what Trump thinks that is important. And based on how the world is reacting, everyone does agree. They do agree. I think it's the benefit of having economic power that you have influence, or not really that, or not really so much influence, but that people will see you as a space for opportunity, so they'll want to meet your demands. Not India. I'm glad. I'm glad. You should never be bullied by someone. I think South Africans did have the opportunity to think like, if we don't want to pay this tariff, what can we do? India is powerful. Well, South Africa is part of BRICS. So there's definitely that thing going on of like US, NATO, UK, Europe versus BRICS countries. But not really a verse, it's not a war, it's more of a silent competition. I do think that someday it's inevitable that the countries will consolidate, and then you will have the US ideology, and you will have the other world ideology, or not really other world, you will have the BRICS ideology. It's so interesting. Well, I definitely want to be in the US by that time. That's a way to express your options. United States, you're not my only option. I will be honest, I was obsessed with United States at some point. Then I started to see the problems there and realize that, maybe don't romanticize everything. Thanks, Jay. Miami. hmm I need one of those high rise apartments that's overlooking like the marina. And then I need to go to a gym that has hot guys and live my life, which means go to restaurants, cook delicious meals, make my cooking show for my apartment, release my cooking show, make short form content. Here I'm trying this new food. Here I'm in a new location. When I'm in the United States, I'll be earning from TikTok through the Creator Rewards program. You should make pasta. I did make pasta. I think I ran out. If I get a US visa, when I get a US visa, I will have access. If I get a US passport, I will have access to many, many countries. But then there's tax laws that you just may not necessarily find so interesting in the United States. I'll get small business funding. Probably it won't be small business by then. I'll get all of the Apple products at their reasonable rate. I'll get always software updates first. I'll get to have Ben and Jerry's. Downtown New York looks terrible. Probably the same as the CBD here. If I'm already thriving and flourishing here, what would it mean for me to thrive and flourish in a first world country, America, land of the free, land of opportunity, and to meet the same standard there. So it feels like I'm just hopping across, and now I'm already, by virtue of being there, in a more high potential space. Like from what I've seen, for the intellect that I bring, for the skill set that I bring, for my expression, my authentic expression, my creativity, and so on, I don't really feel like this stage of South Africa is is the best place for me to be unleashing that. Would you just pack up and leave? Yes. If somebody told me, here's your visa, here's your ticket, here's your accommodation, we're going. I'm like, bye today, bye today. You'll be an immigrant. I will. And then my accent will adjust in 5 years. And then in 10 years, I'll be able to apply for citizenship. That looks like a good path. I haven't yet made that decision though, right? I'm still to explore Thailand, Japan, Spain, Italy, UK, Brazil, Mexico, Canada, Ethiopia, and so on, India, Tibet. I'm still to explore those spaces to find out where do I want my home base to be. Oh, in terms of benefits for immigrants, I think if you have a working visa there, you get the benefits. If you're there with the working visa, you get the benefits. And my accent is ambiguous. It's not easily determinable where am I from. I'm sure you've noticed that. That's why I get that question all the time. Where are you from? What race are you? I could easily be from Colorado. Go where you're treated best. I think all South Africans abroad get that. Go where you're treated best. Oh, you're with the Dutch. Mm. Mm. One of the benefits of having a goal as huge, not really as huge, as small as $3 million by 40 years old, which means in 9 years, is that when you tap into your co-creator power, when you tap into manifestation principles, you don't need to know how it's going to happen. You just need to make sure that you keep that goal in mind, write it down, and continue to trust your intuition when it guides you on a certain direction. I agree, Mr. Miyagi. It's even better when you embrace diversity, when you embrace living in diversity. Like I have, I lived in Cape Town, I lived in Joburg, I lived in Durban with different types of people, different types of cultures. I don't have ideas about people. I don't have thoughts about people. I don't go to Joburg and think, oh, it's like people are like this and people are like that. I don't ever have that. I'm just here to do what I need to do and be on my way. I interact as humans with humans as humans. I'm not really thinking about what culture you are. You're like this, you're like that. I'm not really doing any of those things. I'm accepting everyone as they are. So having that type of diverse experience, it really does prepare you for diversity elsewhere. Travel allows an open-minded mindset. I agree with you. And now with AI being able to do real-time translation, you really don't need to understand anybody's language. Just speak into your phone and it will speak the language and then we'll communicate. Here's our translation device. Soon enough, we will have earphones that do the translation in real time. I can hear you as if I'm really understanding your language. So the world's becoming open. And then who knows if it's 50 years or 100 years, but borders are going to start to come down. We're going to start to be one world. And when we have been revealed to the presence of other life in the universe, then we're going to become one human society on earth. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully I'm still alive then. Are you from the UK? No. Are you? I'm not sure if you can hear that music, but every day a certain speaker outside plays this very traditional type of song. And yesterday it was different. It's now vibey. It feels like a gay club at 2 a.m. As I was working on what I was working on, it tastes like strawberry jam. What's that? It tastes like the jam from the Black Forest cake. I don't know where Umkamas is. Anyways, make your dreams come true. Some of the newsletters that I subscribe to are all rich guys that are white and that are probably United States. Chase Diamond, Cardinal Mason, Ben Bader, Scott Galloway, Andrew Ross Sorkin, all of the newsletters I'm subscribing to, I read their stuff. They all are young, rich, and white. Which kind of is they are my economic role models, let's call it that. I have spiritual role models, Paramahansa Yogananda, Babaji, Sri Yukteswar Giri, Swami Vivekananda, and other Swamis, and so on. Those are my spiritual role models. I also have economic role models. I also have political role models. Political role models, Obama, Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi. Could I be chief whip in the US Senate? Can I be a South African but be a United States politician? I'll have to think about that one. I know political ripening age is usually around 45. So if I ever do have political ambitions, I have 15 years to sit on that and to just be my best self and just relax. Okay, I'm about to leave soon. Thanks for joining me for breakfast. I'm looking at the movies that are out now, and the one that's most interesting for me to watch is the one called Weapons. All these children from this lady's classroom disappear one night, and of course, the whole town wants to know, what is it about you, lady? They're angry at her, probably hating her. She has to deal with the consequences. I don't know if she knows. Yeah, it is horror. I don't think if she knows what happens, but I want to see what happens. Oh, the name is called Weapons, and it was just released yesterday. I have so many potentials. Acting, directing movies, political startup. There's so many things. As I mentioned, when you have so many things that you could do, there's only so much time in your life. So you've got to at some point think about what is your unified trajectory going to be. Is it going to be art? Is it going to be politics? Is it going to be business? I haven't made a decision yet. Any other good horrors? Um, yeah, I've watched a lot of good horrors. I mean, the new Final Destination is good. Um, but this one, Weapons, you watched all the Final Destinations. Um, Alien Romulus, Evil Dead 2013, mm, Prometheus 2012, Scream 5 and 6, I love those. Ready or Not, Evil Dead Rise, I just listed a bunch for you. Um, Sam Raimi movies, I love them. 10 Cloverfield Lane, um, yeah. There's a one called Jughead. I'm not sure if you like Jughead. I think you'll like Jughead. Or is it Jarhead? Jarhead, let's see. No, that's not a horror film. It's Jughead. Or is it Jugface? Yes, Jugface, 2013 horror. That one is super interesting. Um, and then there's one called The Woman. The Woman is a 2011 movie. Showmax. I don't know if it's on Showmax. I don't know. I watch on Sflix. The Woman. This guy finds this woman from um, an undiscovered tribe, and he abducts her and brings her into his home, and then chains her in his basement. And it's a story about how kind of she's treated brutally, but also about what about her escape. I watched that in 2013 and I enjoyed it. I think I need to watch it again. If you like cult horror movies, The Invitation, um, Kill List, The Conspiracy, mm, VHS, Terry, VHS, VHS 2, VHS 3, all of the VHS movies. If you love horror, every VHS movie, which by the way, there are a lot of them. VHS 2, VHS Viral, VHS Beyond, VHS 85, VHS 94, VHS 99. Tell me you've watched all of the VHS movies, because there are a lot of them. And I cannot wait for the next one coming out this year. Hopefully, there's one coming out this year. Okay, no, you gotta watch those. I highly recommend for horror fans. Every VHS movie, if you got internet, just search it online. You'll find it there. VHS Halloween is coming out this year. Oh my god. So exciting. Amityville, was not a fan of Amityville. But last year with VHS Beyond, they really outdid themselves. It was very much alien themed. Wow. I'm getting a slight hint of some type of jam. Some type of jam. Where's that flavor coming from? My favorite horror genres are usually some type of cabin, some type of evil book, some type of cult. Cabin, evil book, cult. I don't like serial killers. I don't like ghosts. I don't like aliens. I mean, I love aliens in the real sense. I don't like aliens in the violent sense. The fourth kind. Watch the fourth kind. That one still scares me. The fourth kind, and there's another one where I'll have to search that one. It was scary. When they make the extraterrestrials look cold and heartless, that's scary. Serial killers bore me because no motive, just killings. I agree. I agree. I need a story. Don't just tell me you're deranged and evil. That's not a story. That's not a character background. How can I have empathy? Or maybe you're not meant to have empathy for the serial killer. Um, Show me a tragic background. Show me that you just want your story to be told and then you'll be freed from your murderous ways. But if it's something like a Michael Myers who's just evil, I'm not into that. In a violent nature, have you seen that one? This group of kids uncovers this amulet or this locket and it brings a serial killer back from the dead, and you're just watching him murder those teens, but you saw what's that Watts? Michael Myers. I didn't watch any of the Halloween movies. It was, except the first one, it was not looking interesting to me. Oh no, I don't want to see real life stuff. I'm not a fan of true crime. I don't want to know who's dying. VHS Beyond. Justin Long. Barbarian. Not sure if you saw Barbarian, but the director of Barbarian did Weapons. Hereditary. Midsommar. Those are amazing. I remember watching Midsommar in 2019. Rec is a Spanish zombie horror movie. Also, the brothers. I'm not sure if they're the brothers, but they did some movies. I can't remember right now. YouTube got good movies too. I've seen some of them. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Thanks for joining me for breakfast. I'll see you guys later. I don't know what you're doing on your Saturday, but if you're resting, make sure to rest. And if you're being productive like I am, make sure to be productive. And don't stress yourself out if you reach a stumbling block or an obstacle. Just chill out and take some time away and then revisit it at a later stage with fresh mind and see if you're able to make progress. And now with the AIs, you can just ask questions here, there, and everywhere until you get it done. Okay, wishing you that type of day then, Terry, if that's the type of day you're having. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for the likes on the live. Thanks for all of the gifts. Take care. And yeah, have a wonderful day. I don't like doing that. Why do I do that? I should be relaxed, right? Sometimes when you see me like this, just remind me to relax. Because it feels like unconscious behavior where can you see this is the prepared pose. You see it with cats. You see it with cats, right? You see it with any animal that's ready to strike or on edge. So my body is telling me when it's like this that, hey, Sean, your body needs to be reminded that it's in a safe space. Let's remind it. Thanks, Terry. Okay, take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel. You'll get more content there, longer content, all of the live replays. Subscribe to my mailing list if you want to receive emails on peace, calm, and clarity on a weekly basis. Get my books through the link in my bio: Solo Journeys, Meditation for Beginners, The Authenticity Blueprint, and Peace and How to Have It. You can get it all there. Book a coaching session if you want to overcome some negative subconscious obstacles, if you want to make progress on those things that matter to you. If you've been feeling blocked, stuck, or stagnant, my coaching sessions are ideal for you. Click the link in my bio, book a coaching session. And there's so much more, including following me on all of my social media. Check out my pages. And my YouTube goal is 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Help me reach that goal. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't just subscribe, watch the content. Yeah, that's all for me today. Take care for now. I'll see you later. Will I be cooking? I want chickpea mayo, but I have not found a small enough mayo. So if you know I can find a small enough mayo, let me know, because I need to buy that. I only want to eat one serving of chickpea mayo. Otherwise, maybe I'll cook 4 bean mix in a curry or something. Take care. I'll see you later. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.